So I'm gonna go through problems one and two. Um, I for sure one, and maybe we should do like one and eight. I don't know. We'll do one and two. The only reason I'm a little reticent to do them both is because they're both horizontal, but you'll figure it out. If you need more, let me know. So number one, is x plus one squared over four plus y minus two squared. So we, of course, understand that even though it's not written like this, that this y plus 2 squared is technically over 1, right? So if it helps you, just visualize that. So the first thing I do, kind of gotten a routine to these, just been working on them a lot. So the thing I do first is just picture what it looks like. And since the a is under the x, then I know it's going to be a horizontal hyperbolus or ellipse. So I just sketch it. I am surprised at how often I refer back to that picture. So if you don't draw it, it might help you to make a sketch. Um, so then it's time to make the list. And the list, I've just been putting it kind of right here. So I'm going to say A equals the things you should find. There are five of them are A, B, H, K, and C. Um, I just didn't know if I hit resume, but I did this time, so we're good. So A, you're going to find as the square root of the larger bottom, and the square root of 4 is 2. And then B is going to be the square root of the smaller bottom, which is 1. And then I'm assuming you don't have any issues with H and K. H comes from the X parentheses, so that's -1. And K comes from the Y, and that's +2. Do you know how to find C?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's the A squared.
Yeah, basically just do big bottom minus small bottom and then square root it. So like 4 minus 1 is 3. So you just root 3 it. Yeah. So do we have any questions on finding A through C, all those? Okay. So now it's time. I'm just going to be as organized as I can about this. The center I like to do first. Regardless of what the directions, like what order they say, I'm just going to do them in whatever order I want. So I like to do things like this. So the center is just HK. So that's just the point -1, 2. And then the next thing I like to do is the length of the major axis. I've just been taking the lazy road and calling it long. And do you know how to find that? 2A, so 4 in this case. And I keep putting long. It's like I can't talk and think at the same time. The long axis, the major axis is 4 units long. The short axis is how long? 2B, which is 2. And now it's time to go through the ones that really require some visualization. And it's let's see, get rid of some stuff here. Um, so we have to find the vertices. And I maintain that having the sketch is really what makes a difference. I haven't needed it yet in this problem, but having a sketch of a sideways ellipse, it makes all the difference in the world because now in my mind, so I'll just say like the red point is the center. I now know that the vertices are the purple points. And so I always ask myself, and I'm like almost talking to myself when I say it, I'm saying like who's staying and who's changing. So in this case, the y coordinates stay the same, but the x coordinates are the ones that change. So when I go to write my vertices, a lot of times I just go like this. And sometimes you have to modify a bit because they get a little bit longer, especially when you get to the foci. Um, but since the y coordinate stays the same, I can just keep the 2 from the center and just copy it over twice because those are going to have the same height as the center. And then the x coordinates are just the red point modified by a. Do you understand that we're using A to go out to the vertices? Okay. So since it starts at an X coordinate of -1, this one I'll point to with a little purple arrow. This one is um, 2 units to the left of the center, we would agree. So since the center's at -1, 2 units to the left of that is -3. Is this all doing okay for you? Like I just didn't really know where. And then the other one is going to be 2 units to the right of -1, which is +1. So for the co-vertices, we have to change our thinking now and think, okay, so I'm going to change colors here and say the co-vertices are the yellow dots. Remember that the co-vertices are always along the shorter axis, the minor axis. And so this time I ask myself who stays and who changes, and the X is what stays the same this time. So when I make my co-vertices, I can just copy the -1 from the center like that because it won't change. And then how far up and down do we have to go from 2? We go up 1 or down 1. Because remember, B is the semi-minor axis. That's the distance to the short vertices. You okay with that? Okay. So I'm going to start at -1, 2, and 2 is the important number there. It's my y coordinate. And if I go up 1, my highness, if you will, is 3. And if I start at a highness of 2, but I go down B or 1, 2 minus 1 is 1. And then the final step is to do the foci. And the foci in this picture would be the green dots. And to get to the green dots, I have to go sideways. So it's my X that's changing, but my Y's are staying the same. So when I write my foci down, I can say Y, you stay the same. And then the X's, it all comes back to the center. The center is like everyone's meeting ground. Like we start there and say, break, and then we go. And so I move to the right or the left. Let's go left first. How far left do we go? Do you know the answer to that? Like how far left we go? C. That's exactly what I was hoping you'd say. That's perfect. And so if we start at an x-ness of -1 and go left C, left is, or C is √3. So our first focus is at -1 minus √3. And those aren't we want to leave it like that exact. We don't put them together because they're not like terms. And then the other focus, we go to the right C units, and it's at -1, but we go plus √3. How do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 is like perfect, 1 is clueless. Where are you at after that? That's really good. Do you want to do another one together? Okay. Do you want to do 2 or do you want to pick a different one? 2's fine. Okay. By the way, I have not graphed them yet, but so the way I'm doing this is I went through and did all the the A, B, H, K, C stuff and all the vertices and whatnot, and then I'm just going to go back and graph them when I'm done now. So that's my next job. You can graph them one by one. I don't really care. It's up to you. Anyways, for number 2, we have x squared over 35 plus y plus 1 squared over 10 plus 1. So because the power number is under the x, again, we have a long ellipse. So it's going to be a sideways guy like this. And what's A? Nice. I don't know why it's been doing that lately. There it is. Okay, and what's B? Nice job. H? Mm-mm. X squared is like X minus 0 squared. So you have to remember that when it's just a solo, that it's like there's a 0 plus or minus a 0 with it. So H is 0. What's K? -1. And then C is. Did, did you just give me an answer? I didn't know if you were to give me an answer or throwing a gang sign at me. Was that? It's 5. That's correct. Good job. So I think I alluded to this yesterday that this one it feels like role reversal because we're used to A and B being the pretty numbers and C being the dog water number. And in this case, it's like total reversal because the focus length comes out to be the nice one, which is pretty weird. So there's your laundry list of values. And now we got to go through and make our list of stuff. So here we go. Center is at 0, -1. Long axis is equal to what? Perfect. 2 root 35. And then the short axis is equal to 2 root 10. Good math. And that leaves us with the undesirable part, the vertices, the co-vertices, and the foci. So let's begin. So as always, it's all going to come down to starting at the center and then using your A, B, and C values to find your way out. So the key again is the little sketch there. That dumb little drawing has so much value that it should not be underestimated. If I want to find the vertices, I'm going left and right. Um, so your Y stays the same, right? So for my vertices, I can already write them down. Um, I can say like blank -1 and blank -1 since we're going sideways. I mean, if you were feeling ambitious, you could even do your co-vertices like while you're at it. You could do for your co-vertices, you could do 0 blank and 0 blank. Knowing who stays the same is pretty important. You could even do your foci. Like if you're feeling crazy, you could say, again, just like the vertices, your vertices and your foci, the same variable will not change. I think that was good English. So again, since we're going sideways to the foci, the y doesn't change. So it's blank -1 and blank -1. Everybody good with the setup? Okay. And now it's just a matter of doing sometimes an actual calculation, sometimes just writing an expression. So to find your vertices, you start at an xness of 0 and you go left how far? Yeah, and that actually puts us just at -√35. And then you go back to 0 and you go to the right, and that puts us at √35. Braden, you have any questions on the vertices? Okay. For the co-vertices, we're going to go up and down. So we're going to start at a height of -1, and then let's go down first. How far down do we go? Correct. So it's just a height of -1 minus √10. And then the other one is a height of -1 plus √10. And then the last thing is to find the foci. And the foci are found by following the same path as you would for the main vertices. You just don't go as far. So we're going to start at 0. It's always nice when you start at a 0 because then you don't have to put a plus or minus. It's just like a thing. Uh, and how far left? Ooh, how nice is this? How far left do we go? 5. So our foci are at -5, -1, and +5, -1. It's usually, like I said, the foci that are the ugly ones. This is backwards. So, uh, do you feel a little better about this? Perfectly good. Okay, wonderful. I'll pause this. If you guys have any more that you want to go over or whatever, let me know. But the last 30 minutes, you can just work and try to get this done.
Is tomorrow gonna be a work day since you're gonna be going to?